Welcome back. So in this episode, I'm going to just add the spaceship sprite to our game scene and start putting a framework in so we can capture user input. So I'm here in the game scene.js in the scenes folder. I'll go back here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'll fix this typo. It should be create. And I'll bring this content down here into the create function. I can remove the preload. So here we're going to do all of the work for setting up the scene since all of our textures were loaded in the loading scene. First, let's see, we can change the background color here so we can make it really dark gray, which I think will look a little better if it's a space game. And then the next thing we want to do is do this .add, and this time we'll say Sprite. And we'll give it a width of half again. So we'll put it in the center of the screen and we'll say height. Let's try -40 for now. So basically at the very bottom of the screen. And then we have to say the texture we want to use. So it's the entities one we made. And it should be, I believe we called it ships. And let's go with orange. Let's see how that looks. All right, so now when we load the scene, we have this orange spaceship down here at the very bottom in the middle. The next thing we want to do is, it might be hard to tell in the video, but the game engine is trying to smooth out the edges of this sprite for us. However, if we go down to the where you make the configuration, we can say pixel art and true, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see, I think, but the edges will be a little bit more jagged, so they'll look more like the actual game art should, in my opinion. So now that we have the spaceship added to the scene, let's go back to our game scene, and let's set up some just boilerplate code for our pointer. So we want to basically capture the touch state. And then based on that, we're going to move the ship around in the update method. So pointer. So we can say this input, and then we can specify a function, and we can put a callback here. And we're going to do this 3 times. And the first event that we want to capture is the pointer down. The next one we want to capture is pointer move. And the last one we want to capture is pointer up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some variables just to hold the state of the pointer that we can reference later in our update code. So the first one is going to be this .pointer. And I'm going to say that it equals is down. So, if the user is touching the screen or not touching the screen, you want to keep track of that. So by default, it'll be false. And we'll also have an x of 0 and a y of 0. And I want to check one thing real quick. I'm not sure. So let's just see what happens if we put pointer in here. And we console this out. Probably should just look at the docs, but I have a feeling this will be quicker. All right, so we get a pointer here. And the key thing I want to see, we have world X and world Y. So we're going to have an X and a Y here, but we'll have a world X and a world Y. And the reason is that there could be a camera, and our camera could be showing a different part of the world than where the X and the Y is on the screen. So we're going to want to use those. So when the pointer gets pushed, what we'll do is we'll say, this pointer something equals pointer dot something. I'm going to make one more actually. So I'll say this pointer is down. This case will be true. This will be world X. This one will be world Y. We'll go back here and we'll add Y and X. So basically when the user pushes down on the screen, we're going to capture the fact that the pointer's been pushed and where they made the touch. Now we're going to go to these other ones, and when the pointer moves, we don't care about whether or not it's down or not. We just care about the location. So we'll copy too much code there. We'll copy the position. And then last but not least, when we lit up from the screen, we want to quickly make sure we stop moving. So we'll put the pointers down and we'll set it to false here. So real quick, just to test it out, we can say if, we can say const pointer equals this, and we can say if pointer is down, console.log pointer.x pointer.y. All right, so now I'm going to simulate a touch by just clicking down. Whoops, and we have a problem. So this is a very stupid mistake. I forgot to pass in the pointer to my function, so I was capturing the down event but not the move. All right, so let's go back here. And here we go. We move around and we're inputting or outputting where we are on the screen. So in the next step, we're going to start adding in some physics, and it's going to be a little bit more advanced. So I'll stop here and see you in the next episode.